Greetings to everyone. This is Pauline Gongang, and you are welcome to another life. And today's topic of discussion is the morality in our society. On Tuesday, we spoke about the morality of our time, just talking about the general knowledge about morality, and we focused on 5 approaches, which were the morality in our society, the morality of religion, the morality of culture, the morality of partnership, and the morality of self. The morality of self will talk about your individual knowledge, your individual understanding of morality. We'll talk about the morality of religion. We'll focus on our beliefs and our spirituality. When we talk about the morality of culture, we'll talk about our way of life, our origin, our identity, our ethnicity. When we talk about the morality of our society, we talk about the society, the environment where we belong, the nations, the institutions. So today's topic will talk about the morality of our society, and next week Tuesday we'll talk about the morality in religion. So today's topic is the morality of our society. But let me remind you that morality is all about a standard of behavior whereby we understand people have to be acting this particular way, and it's right and or it is wrong. And morality of our society it's based on the community where you belong. And in this area, I'll look at it from the political point of view, because a society is made up of rules and regulations. We have institutions that put people into control, that guide people, not for them to be misled. And if you go out of their jurisdictions, out of the ethical code, then you are being punished, you are being sanctioned, because you obeyed, you agreed to these norms of the society. And when you look at the morality of society, we look into the dynamic nature, the subjective interpretation, and the impact of behavior. The dynamic nature talk about the societal norms, the society norms. And what are the societal norms? Whereby if you kill someone, if you steal, you have to be punished. Someone who steals, someone who does something wrong, you have to be punished. No matter the offense, as long as you have caused someone harm, there are laws, or you are bound to those laws which are going to be punished. When we talk about the subjective interpretation, whereby an individual perspective or individual knowledge is being influenced by the society, you want to influence your understanding about some certain things to the society. This one will come about. One will focus on the ideology. Ideology is more about a reproduction of something that already exists, but they want it to be in a larger extent, whereby they want to make the mass to follow that idea they are trying to push towards. When we talk about the impact of behavior, talk about the values, the ethics of these behaviors of these individuals. How does it impact their society? How does their behavior, the actions really impact their society? So I'll approach this morality of a society in three ways. The first one is a unilateralism approach. The unilateralism approach. The second one is a justice or fairness approach. Then the third one talk about the virtue and ethics approach. With the unilateralism approach, we talk about its consequences. I'll bring into them like a more of a simpler terms, whereby if you know your sacrifice will help the mass people, then you have to do it. When you're doing it, that's a unilateralism morality approach, or morality of a society, whereby you sacrifice yourself for the benefit of the group of people, for the benefit of the mass. An example I'll talk about is those who go to war, the soldiers who go to war, when they know when they're going for war, and them fighting for security of society, for the peace of society, and they sacrifice themselves. That is a united morality approach of a society, where you put yourself out there for the benefit of the mass population. Another thing we'll talk about is the vaccines, whereby few people are going to sacrifice themselves to test the vaccine, if it's good or not. And if it's good, then it's fine, they survive. If it's bad, then they did not survive, because they had to sacrifice for the good of the people to know that if this vaccine is good or not. So that is unilateralism approach. If you have any example, any knowledge about the unilateralism approach, then you can write it in the comment section. Then the other approach talk about the justice and the fairness approach. whereby you are treating everyone fairly. It doesn't depend the class, either you are rich or you're poor, everyone is treated fairly. An example to talk about is the quality education. If government institutions or government schools are providing quality educations, then the poor and the rich will be able to attend the school. But if the government institutions don't provide quality education, but the private institutions provide quality education, obviously there'll be discrimination. So how do you provide education to those people? How do you provide a quality education to these persons, to your community, whereby the justice system, also when going to court, when you're trying to judge a case, you don't care about the person's social status, you judge them according to their crime, and make sure you give equal opportunities for the poor and for the perpetrators, or for those the victims as well. So it's about the justice and fairness of the society. Then I will talk about the virtue ethics approach, which is about developing a good character traits and the ways in which a better person could consider the intentions and motivations. This approach is, we look at it from more of a community approach, more of an approach whereby the society is more based on an individual approach, for every individual to have a sense of oneness, a sense of understanding. I think this is what comes with the nation building. What are the characteristics? What are the things you do to make your people to care about the country? What are the characteristics? What are the values you are putting in the minds of people for them to value their society, to value the people around you? So you're going along to the individual approach. So an example I will talk about, it's the example of if an elderly person comes to the shop repairer and says, please, can you help me fix my phone? Can you help me fix this device? And the person realized that there was nothing to be fixed. We just add to a point on the button or something minimal that doesn't cost anything. Instead a repairer receiving money, the repairer says, no, that's okay, don't bother paying for anything. I will do so. It's just a free, I think it's just a lack of knowledge or ignorance of this particular thing. Next time it isn't happens, just click on this button or just press do this activity and everything will go on well. Another example, we'll talk about when there is a case, when there is a crime, and you realize that there's someone who is violating the rights, violating the environment, doing something bad, and you call into the knowledge of the law enforcement, the response force, to come and intervene on it. These are characteristics, these are individual characteristics whereby you don't just focus only on yourself, but you think of the good of your society, and those cultures and those ethnics are within you. And if every individual, if every country is really being able to do such activity, don't you think the society will be morally upright? Don't you think the society will be more comprehensive? Don't you think the society will be more peaceful? And what are the benefits of having a morality in a society? What are the benefits? When we look at the benefits, we talk about the social cohesion. People can now live together freely. People can now be able to express themselves. They are free. They can say, okay, if something happens now, I can be able to trust the law enforcement, trust the authorities to solve the case, or trust the authority to respond or to protect me in terms of danger. And that benefit is that the ethical decision making. When you are making a decision, you're looking into the ethical part of it. Does it create value? Does it protect the people? What are my intentions? What are my motivations? Now, if you're bringing out policies, if you're bringing out things in society, what are you doing so far? Do you think that the policies you're bringing, the institutions you're trying to talk about, to implement, the project you're trying to implement, is it going to value these individuals? Is it going to benefit this individual, benefit a society? And that approach is like trust building. You know, the society is made up of different types of institutions. We have the parliamentarian, we have the law enforcement, we have the judiciary, then we have schools. So we have different bodies that makes up an institution, that makes up a society. So now let me talk about a little bit about a society and a nation. A society is about an institution whereby we just have people coming together, just create laws, just to create institutions, just to make sure these people are being protected, or these people are following the rules and regulations. But when it comes to a nation, they have what? They have a particular way of doing things. What a particular way of doing, they have a flag, they have things that keep them together. Things that like the anthem. In fact, a lot of institutions, a lot of things that people can really connect with in terms of a nation. But a society, it's more about survival, just trying to bring them together, like respecting a particular rule. But when it comes to a nation, it's that community, that phase whereby individuals are passionate about their country. They want to defend their country. They want to stand by their country. They want to talk about their country, and they want to be able to stay together for their country and stand for their country. So when you have a morally uplifted society, things like that were very easy for people to stand firm. Things like people were able to defend their country. But when you don't give the opportunity for these individuals to really stand for themselves, to really believe in themselves, then it will be very difficult for them to really be a nation builder, for them to really build that trust within the society. And that benefit of having a morality in a society is conflict resolutions. In terms of conflict resolution, in terms of solving problems in a society, So in society, in terms of conflict resolutions, it will be very easy for a society or for a nation to solve a conflict. Why? Because they have focused a lot on their morality of society, have understood the different dimensions. The environment or the people have understood the different dimensions of morality in society. We spoke about the unilateralism morality, the utilitarian approach whereby one person can sacrifice for the mass of the people. When we spoke about the justice and the fairness of society, we talk about where institutions, this law enforcement, these judicial systems give opportunities to everyone without discrimination, whether you are poor, whether you are rich, whether you are female, whether you are male, whether you are a kid, anyway. But these societies now provide a fairness to everybody, especially in the area of the economic resources, in terms of health, in terms of education. Then another we spoke about the virtues and the ethics approach, where there is an instilled behavior of every individual to be conscious of their actions, to be able to understand, to be able to support these other institutions or support other individuals, where this character, this behavior now creates now a peaceful society. So if these communities or if these individuals are able to understand these various dimensions of morality in a society, then to solve a conflict will be very, very easy. But when there is a gap or there's a loophole in these institutions or in these areas, then to solve a problem will be very, very difficult. For problems to be solved by dialogue, will not escalate from a crisis now to a conflict, and a lot of things will erupt because of lack of awareness, lack of awareness, lack of relevance to these issues are very important in a society. So another thing we talk about the importance of morality is in society is personal growth and personal influence. Personal growth and personal influence. So if an individual is so passionate about their country, about their value and ethics in the country, how will you think that individual will behave? Will the person willing to grow? Will the person able to influence the society with their ideology, with their ideas, with their efforts? Will they be able to influence the society because the society have given them the opportunity to be relaxed, to be able to understand that their role plays a lot in terms of nation building, in terms of bringing a society of peaceful cohesion and trust building. So those are the things we talk about the societal, the morality in society, where we have to understand that these institutions need you, and these institutions need the government needs everybody to be involved in it. But how do the government or how did the society really try to impact these behaviors, try to make sure these individuals are able to understand that this morality are needed not only for themselves but also for the community and for the conflict. It's very, very expensive to really spend on war, but it's very, very cheap to take care of people in a society in a very peaceful environment. So as a government institutions, as individuals who belong to, who represent a nation, who represent a country, what are your efforts? What are you doing so far to make sure these institutions are living in peace, to make sure every individual is being represented in their community, being represented in their areas of need? And most of the important things in the morality of society is it's the justice and fairness of a society. What are you doing so far? What are your jurisdictions? What are the policies that you put in place? Especially in the areas of quality education, do you really provide for them? Do you really give quality educations? Do you really support the teachers? What about the institution? What about the resources that you put in place in those institutions? Another area we will focus also on the health issues. What are the doctors? What are the trained personnel? Do you really train them? Do you pay them? What are the things that you know that if you make sure these societies if you make sure the society can really trust their health systems, do you think they're willing to go somewhere else? Do you think there'll be a conflict in terms of the health institutions? When we talk about the resources, what about the allocation of resources? What do you do about it? In terms of the taxes, do the wealthy pay more to compensate for the poor who are earning less? Or instead you put in a tax fare for everyone who is supposed to, based on with their salaries or the amount they earn are quite different. So when it comes to this morality of society, when we think about these things we have to do so far in terms of the institutions as well as in terms of the individuals too. So you have to understand the morality of society doesn't just focus only on the institutions, but the individuals who are concerned so far. So thank you so much to everyone who stayed tuned for our live stream today, talk about morality in our society. So what are your thoughts? What are your own recommendations on how we can improve on our morality of our society? And if you are institutions, on what have you done so far to make sure these individuals are being recognized, are being acknowledged for their efforts so far? So thank you so much to everyone, and I wish you all a lovely evening.